Welcome to the Crunch McDabbles show. I'm your host, Crunch McDabbles, manning the enchanted +1 microphone. This is the only show where we design a Pathfinder Second Edition character and then destroy him in our punishing test dungeon. Today we're building a half-orc animal druid. How good is the Second Edition druid? Can he prevail against 4 goblin warriors? Can he make it out of the 3rd round? Let's find out together as we build a half-orc animal druid. The first thing, probably the biggest decision when making a druid, is what kind of druid will it be? There are 4 basic druid templates in the core rulebook: a store druid, a leaf druid, a wild druid, and the animal druid. All of them are cool. I chose the animal druid because I wanted to see how good the animal companion could be. We take the animal companion into consideration with the rest of our build because the animal companion requires using 1 action each round to command it to do something. This only leaves us with 2 actions left each round. And we also want to use a heavy wooden shield to take advantage of the free feat that druids get at first level, shield block. That only leaves us with 1 action left each round if we keep the shield raised and command the raptor. This means we want to have a weapon attack option because they can be used as single actions. Druids only get simple weapons, so we don't have a ton of options here. We choose the spear as our weapon. It can be used at range or in melee. It has a 20-foot range increment, and it does a d6 of damage. All of this will inform our ability scores. We max out our wisdom at 18. This gives us a good will save, helps our initiative through our perception skill, and makes our spell attack and spell DC as good as it can be. Since we will be attacking at range or in melee with the spear, we put our dexterity and strength both at 14. A 14 dexterity also allows us to max out our armor class at 18 with hide armor. The 14 strength gives us a +2 to damage with either ranged or melee attacks with the spear. We put constitution at 12 for 1 extra hit point and better fortitude save, and we dump intelligence and charisma, and that's basically our ability layout. We take ancestry human with the half-orc heritage. I like the visual of a wild-looking half-orc druid, plus half-orcs get access to an awesome feat called Orc Ferocity. When something kills you, instead of going unconscious and dying, you instead take the wounded condition and have 1 hit point. That's a great trade-off. I'd take that every time, and that makes that feat very powerful. I particularly like this feat with the class that can heal itself so that monsters can take you all the way down to dead and you can heal yourself back up and start again, rather than trying to fight on with 1 hit point. Our background is Animal Whisperer. This sounded good for an animal druid, and it gives access to the needed wisdom boost. One thing to note here is that Animal Whisperer gives the skill Nature. Since we already get the Nature skill as a druid, we can choose any skill as a substitute, which is very nice. A great substitute skill for a druid here is Diplomacy, because the druid ability Wild Empathy uses diplomacy, so there is no sense in having a free ability and not being at least half decent at it. Druids are primal spellcasters. At first level they get 5 cantrips and 2 first level spell slots to prepare 2 spells for the day. We take a bunch of different attack cantrips to give us some different range and damage type options like Acid Splash, Electric Arc, and Ray of Frost. For our first level spells we take Heal Spell twice, so we have plenty of heal options. Finally, we choose an animal companion. I like the raptor. It is a small dinosaur, which is just cool. It has a 50-foot movement speed and a couple of decent attacks, which makes it a small missile on the battlefield. We call our raptor Speed Bump. It has 14 hit points, an armor class of 16, and a bite attack at +5 with a d8 damage, or a talon attack at +6 with a d6 of damage. Animal Druid also gives us the focus spell and a focus point, the spell Heal Animal, so we can get a free heal spell for our animal companion once a combat. As for the druid, he has a +5 to hit with either ranged attack or melee attack with a d6 +2 damage on either attack. Now those aren't great numbers, certainly not even close to the numbers on a fighter, but they aren't terrible either. His spell attacks are a little better with a spell attack of +7 and a spell DC of 17. So those are our final numbers: AC 18, 20 with the shield raised, hit points 17, decent saves, some good attack spells, some very good defense, and 2 heal spells, plus a vicious mini dinosaur pet. And that's what we're going to take with us into battle. So let's head on over to the test dungeon and see how he does. This is the Gauntlet. It's a ruined temple hidden deep in the wild somewhere in Galarian. It's where brave adventurers, the ones that I make at least, where they go to be tested. This ancient sacred temple is guarded by 4 goblin warriors, small, murderous perversions of their Fey ancestors. Anyways, they call this place home, and they will defend it. Can one adventurer survive against them? The half-orc Druid thinks he can. He's all clad in leathered hides with occult trinkets and spears and shields, and he's a small dinosaur pet. He is mean, he is lean, and he's ready for business. That business? Goblin Exterminator. So let's resolve this conflict the old-fashioned way, with swords and spears and magic. Let's roll for initiative. Holy mackerel, it's good to be back rolling dice again. Goblins, perception +2, 18, solid roll. They are caffeinated and ready to go. On a 20. Half-orc Druid, perception +7, 12 + 7 is 19, not good enough to beat the 20. That pesky goblins are going to go first. Goblin Warriors on a 20, Half-orc Druid on a 19. This goblin at the bottom of the screen, he wants to kill this Druid. Action 1, he'll draw a short bow. Action 2, he's got to stride forward so he doesn't incur a range increment penalty. He'll scoot forward 25 feet with a stride action. In Action 3, he'll take a shot at that big target out there, that Half-orc Druid. +8 to hit with the short bow. It's a great bonus, but 2 will never hit. That goes well over the head of the Druid. A miss. Druid doesn't even have to duck. This goblin in the way back here. Action 1, he's going to draw a short bow. Action 2, he has to move forward 25 feet, so let's move him up 25, 5, 10. Get him up there. And landing adjacent to these goblin allies allows them to make 5-foot steps as a reaction, so they will do that. It's called Goblin Scuttle. And they'll each move up to get a little bit closer. And with his third action, he'll take a shot at the big target, the Druid. +8 to hit. 9 + 8, close. 17 just misses the Druid. He has to get out of the way at the last second. Probably knocks it away with his shield. This goblin right here, he doesn't have to move. He's in good range. He's going to draw out a short bow, and then he'll take 2 shots at the Druid. Remember, these short bows are deadly. If they hit with a critical, they do an extra d10 damage. Here goes. 2 rolls. 7. Oh, that's going to be 15. And 2. Definitely a no. Arrows fly by the Druid, but they don't connect. And the last little goblin here, same approach. He's going to pull out his short bow, and then he'll take 2 strikes. See if he can get a crit. Rolling in, +8 to hit. Here goes. 17 + 8, 25. Definitely a hit. 2, no chance. We have a d6 of damage coming out at the Druid. 2 damage. Ouch. That is a killer. 17 hit points. Subtract 2. That'll bring him down to 15. Okay, the Druid's up first. The first thing he's going to do is chuck his spear right at that goblin that's closest to him. Actually, the one that hit him. It's a range increment penalty of -2. 13 + 5. -2 is 16. That's going to hit an armor class of 16. Just barely. D6 of damage coming up. 2 damage +2 from his strength, his great strength. 4 pierce damage, enough to mortally wound him, but not enough to kill him. That'll bring him from 6 down to 2. Action 2, he's going to raise his shield. In Action 3, he will command his raptor to attack. He'll say, Raptor, get up there and kill him. Kill the one that I just hit with the spear. Raptor has 2 actions. First action, he's going to move forward into striking range, and second action, he'll bite at the goblin for 12. And the goblin jumps out of the way at the last second. Round 2. Here goes. The goblins are up. First goblin, he's going to drop his short bow on the ground as a free action. His first action, he'll draw out his little goblin dagger called a dog slicer. Second action, he'll take a step. This allows his goblin ally to take a goblin scuttle. He'll take a step 5 feet. Third action, he's going to strike at the raptor. Here goes a +8 to hit that raptor. Armor class 16 on the raptor. 5 + 8 is 13. Just misses. The raptor gets out of the way. Up next, the goblin at the top of the screen. He's going to keep firing arrows as long as it has a short bow out and there's that big druid threat back there. 3 attacks. 3, no chance. 10, no. 17 on a third attack, no. 3 misses. Arrows fly through the air but don't find purchase. Goblin next to the raptor. He's got to drop his short bow as a free action. Just chuck it on the ground. Draw out his little sword. Then he'll take 2 strikes at the raptor. At action 2 and action 3. +8 to hit. 18. That's going to be a critical hit. 18 + 8 is 26 for his armor class 16. So 2d6 damage. 5 damage against the raptor. 14 hit points reduced by 5 to 9. And finally, the goblin at the bottom of the screen. He's going to take 3 shots with his short bow at the druid as well. May as well keep firing arrows. 1 crit could really do some damage. 15, that will definitely hit. 15 + 8 is 23. 1 misses and 6 misses. That will be a d6 of damage at the druid. 2 damage. However, the druid has something called a shield block. So he's going to snap his shield into place. It's a heavy wooden shield, has a hardness of 3, so it can block all of that damage. The druid gets a turn now. First action, he's going to take a stride to get a little bit closer to the goblin so he can use his spells, short range spells. Second action, he'll raise his shield because he likes that extra armor class. Third action, he will command his raptor to attack that goblin. Only has 2 hit points. Gotta get it done. The raptor will take a bite. +5, 7 + 5 is 12. That will miss. Does have another attack. He'll take a talon. Talon attack is +6 to hit, but it is -4 for a second attack. That's not going to hit either. Goblin just avoids all those attacks. Jumps out of the way. They're tough to hit. Round 3. Here come the goblins. This first goblin right next to the raptor, he's going to take 3 attacks at that raptor. He may as well. He's got his dog slicer out. It's right next to him. He's going to try and carve him up. 3, no. 14 + 8 - 4, 18, yes. And 16 + 8 - 8, 2 hits. Here comes 2d6 damage. 7 more damage to the raptor. It had 9 hit points. Check off 7 more damage to it. It's down to 2 hit points. The raptor squeals in pain. The goblin at the top of the screen will continue firing arrows at the druid. 3 shots. 9, no. 18 + 8 - 5 is 21. That will hit. And 7, no. So we do get a d6 of damage coming up. This goblin does 2 more damage. However, the druid still has a shield raised. He will snap that into place with a shield block. It can block 3 damage. He'll block all that damage. The goblin right next to the raptor in front of it will take 3 attacks with its goblin sword. Here goes, 3 attacks. The raptor is wounded. 3, no. 5, no. 19, however. 9 on the third attack. 19 + 8 - 8 still will hit. It only has 2 hit points. Oh, and it does 2 hit points of damage. That will kill the raptor. It squeals and then collapses. The goblin at the bottom of the screen now. Last goblin to go in this round. Short bow's out. He's going to take 3 shots at the druid. Ooh, bouncing dice. 3, no. 2, no. 14 on a third attack. No chance. 3 misses. Arrows fly through the air as quick as he can shoot them, but none of them land. The druid gets to go, and he is just mad. They killed his raptor. Electricity, while he raises his shield, starts casting a spell. Electricity starts to arc through the air and leaps from goblin to goblin. It's a spell called Electric Arc. And it's going to be a basic reflex save from each of those goblins. Versus DC 17, 4, no, and 5, no. 2 fails, so they'll take full damage. Damage is a D4 plus the casting stat, which is 4 for his wisdom. 4 plus 4 is 8, and 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 max damages. That will kill both those goblins. What a round. Round 4. 2 remaining goblins. They're going to go. This first goblin's going to keep firing arrows, but he only has 2 arrows left, so he'll shoot both his remaining arrows, and then he'll drop his short bow and pull out his sword. Here comes 2 shots. 3, no chance. 13 on a second hit, no chance versus armor class 20. 2 more misses. The druid gets out of the way. And the goblin at the bottom of the screen, well, he's got 3 arrows left, so he'll shoot the remainder of his arrows at the druid as well. 3 attacks. 10, no. 13, no. And 2 definitely misses. It's hard to hit that druid. Okay, let's end this thing. The druid looks at, raises his shield to be safe. Looks at that goblin that's right next to him. Starts casting an electric arc again. Electricity arcs through the air. It's going to be a basic reflex save. 4 plus 7 is 11 versus DC 17. That fails. He'll take full damage. It's a D4 plus 4. 4 again. Max damage plus 4 is 8 electricity damage. That will shock him to death. He's done 24 points of damage in the last 2 rounds. Great damage. The last remaining goblin, he's out of arrows. He charges at the druid. First action, he'll take a stride. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, moving up. Within 10 feet. Action 2, he'll have to take another move action. Take a 5-foot step in close range. Then he realizes that he doesn't have a melee weapon out, so he'll have to drop his short bow and draw his goblin dagger. The druid, he doesn't have a melee weapon out either, so he'll draw one of his spears out. Action 2, he'll raise his shield for safety. And action 3, he will thrust that spear towards that pesky little goblin. Here comes a melee attack. He only has plus 5 to hit. Let's see what happens. 9 plus 5 is 14 versus armor class 16. Almost, but the goblin gets out of the way. Goblin now has a melee weapon equipped, so he will take 3 attacks. Action 1, action 2, action 3. Strike, strike, strike. Trying to tear this goblin up. Druid up, excuse me. 5, no. 7, no. 12, no on the third attack. 3 misses. The druid is hard to hit with that shield raised. Druid now will keep his shield raised. He likes that extra armor class, and he'll take 2 spear thrusts at this little goblin. One of them's got a hit. Plus 5 to hit. 16 plus 5 is 21. That will definitely hit. 3, no chance. It's a D6 plus 2 damage coming at you. 3 damage plus 2. 5 pierce damage. Not enough to kill him. He has 1 hit point left. He'll return the favor with 3 dog slicer strikes. 4, no. 5, no. 8, no. Horrible rolls from the goblin. He is in trouble now. 1 hit point left. The druid has a spell called Electric Loop, Electric Arc, and he will cast it. Electricity arcs into the air. Basic reflex save. 17 plus 7, 24. If he crit succeeded, he wouldn't take any damage, but he only succeeds, so he'll take half damage. It's 2 plus 4 is 6 damage, cut in half. 3 electricity damage. He only has 1 hit point left. You know what that means. Shocks to death, and he is the last goblin. That means the druid is the victor. What a combat.